Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yes, today is Shabbat. Today is January 4th, 2014. This is Man's Final Steps, a continuing series to those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelation 7th and 14th chapter. Again, I say to you, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Symmanayah, and in this segment of Man's Final Steps, I was compelled to present to you an invitation to inform you that I am approachable. An invitation, let's talk. So it is indeed entitled, I Am Approachable, Let's Talk. My brothers and sisters, I want to share with you my position and core beliefs per se. I ask that you be prayerfully minded as you listen. I also invite you to write down any questions you have and consider beginning a dialogue with me. I know it is not about me, but do not forget a body of one with many members require communications among its ranks. Please be informed that I am approachable. Yes, I invite you to let's talk. With that said, consider this. As you examine anything that I've posted, spoken, and or written, if you are in disagreement, let's discuss the matter. Righteous reasoning, along with the act of iron sharpening iron, has a place in our refinement process. Unfruitful arguments and debates is another thing. Let us come away from such. Allow me to share a few scriptures. Genesis 2nd chapter, 7th verse says, And Yahuwah Elohim formed man out of the dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils breath of life, and the man became a living being. Here we witness where the earthen vessel received the treasure of life as a result of the Most High Father breathing into his creation. That was Genesis 2nd chapter, 7th verse. In Revelation 20th chapter, verses 13, 14, and 15, they read as follows. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it, and death and the grave gave up the dead who were in them, and they were judged, and each one according to his works. And the death and the grave were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And anyone was not found in the written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. My brothers and sisters, from man's beginning to Judgment Day, we know the majority of people who ever walked the earth are somewhere, and we know their earthen bodies went back to the dust. Yes, there will be many of us who will be walking the planet when our Mashiach Yahusha return, but there will also be so many more whose body went back to the dust. I submit to you, the spirit of a man never ceases to exist, for we will either face life everlasting or torment upon Judgment Day. Everlasting torment. One or the other. There are no middle grounds. In other words, my brothers and sisters, the spirit of man from his creation and from everlasting to everlasting will either be with the Mashiach or everlasting torment. I invite you to strongly reconsider what the word death truly means. It means the flesh stops functioning and our spirit sleep until the return of our Mashiach, our Messiah, Yahusha. Rethink the meaning of death, my brothers and sisters. This will open up a whole new perspective on life as designed by our Almighty Father. It will allow you to come to understand how Yahusha, Yahuwah's word, man of flesh, and Yahuwah are one. Pray on these matters, my brothers and sisters. In due season, it will become clear to the obedient. John 11, verses 11 through 13 reads, And he said this, and after he said to them, Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up. Therefore the taught one said to him, Master, if he's fallen asleep, he shall recover. But Yahusha had spoken about his death, whereas they thought he spoke of taking rest and sleep. Here's an example of, my brothers and sisters, how the earthen vessel can cease to function, but the spirit sleeps. Now, on the matter of the text versus life in the scriptures, consider these things. It is said that the letter killeth and the spirit maketh alive. I submit to you this understanding is for us to depend on the Spirit of Yahusha to make alive his written words. Moreover, let me introduce these verses to you. John 5, verses 37 through 39. And it reads, And the Father who sent me, he bore witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his form. And you do not have his word stand in you because you do not believe in him whom he sent. You search the scriptures because you think you possess everlasting life in them. And these are the ones that bear witness of me. Let us become mindful of the origins of our instructions as well, my brothers and sisters. We are guided by the Spirit of Yahusha, and he will bear witness of his instructions in us, through us, for the building up of his reign. The living one who direct our paths will provide proof and confirmation. Let us continue to grow in maturity in our relationship with our Mashiach, our Messiah. Let us discover who is sending us, where, when, and why. And it is indeed possible to discern the movement of the Spirit of Yahusha within us, one towards another. We will receive instructions, guidance, reproof, judgment, all that is necessary to refine and perfect those who would seek to be obedient to the Most High, those who are designated to participate in end-time prophecies. Moreover, I emphasize the 144,000 multitude because in these, my brothers and sisters, in these ranks, the Father will not be asking our permission. We will be ordered and commanded to bring about contribution as guided by him in fulfilling scriptures. My brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for your patience in listening to this message. I believe with all my mind, body, and soul, there is one who is the beginning and the end. I believe it is he who is the creator. I further believe he is spirit everywhere at all times and that he has a name. Yahuwah, Almighty Father, Almighty Creator, Yahuwah is his name. It is the name for many centuries that have been replaced in books known by billions as a book with a pagan label in an effort to hide the truth. I believe in these end times the truth will emerge. As proof comes about, as end time prophecies are fulfilled, man will come to know the true name of the living Father. I believe in the Almighty Father Yahuwah's creation of man. I believe that in his creation fellowship was broken as a result of what happened in the Garden of Eden. I believe upon the breaking of fellowship with the Almighty Father Yahuwah, a plan began that has lasted for centuries, with opportunities for receiving restoration and fellowship through Yahusha HaMashiach. I believe within the plan, 10 commandments were given along with many laws regarding our walk with the Most High Father. I am also compelled to believe the Most High Father made his word manifest in the flesh through the virgin birth and was manifest as Yahusha, which means Yahuwah saves or Yah save. Depending on whose form you embrace, it could be Yahuwah's salvation or Yah's salvation. I have no battle with either of these forms, which describe the meaning of the name of our Mashiach, our Messiah, Yahusha. I believe a time came when the Word that was made flesh, Yahusha's earthen body, stopped functioning and became sleep for a period of 3 days and 3 nights, thus reflecting the sacrifice that was made, only to be resurrected, walked among people to witness his resurrection from the grave, and later ascend to the right hand of the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Yahusha is his name. I am compelled to believe upon the resurrection of Yahusha's physical body. His physical body was transformed. Keep in mind, scriptures inform us that flesh and blood cannot inherit the reign of Elohim. The Almighty Father, upon the resurrection of Yahusha as Mashiach, as Messiah, sent his set-apart spirit to dwell within us, in the name of Yahusha, as described in John 14:26. I believe that Yahuwah and Yahusha are one, and the complexity of understanding this eludes or escapes many ability to understand and receive, but in due season it will become clear and made known. If we search the scriptures, we will discover a sequence of events, moving from how we receive communications from the Almighty Yahuwah before Yahusha's ministry, moving to an actual demonstration of how we were and are to engage the Almighty Father in communications, worship, and obedience. A demonstration that we saw provided by Yahusha, Yahuwah's word manifest in the flesh. Then given the opportunity to be indwelled and united with the Almighty Father's set-apart spirit sent in Yahusha's name. Again, as I mentioned, John 14:26. Those who seek to worship and obey, do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah, and come to accept Yahusha as Mashiach, one who teaches and brings things to remembrance. Those of you who fit this description will witness scriptures come alive and will discover a living family of believers. As we grow closer in these end times, there will be a gathering, my brothers and sisters. The verse that talks about the letter kills and the spirit makes alive, 2 Corinthians 3:6, and it reads as follows: who also made us competent as servants of a renewed covenant, not of the letter, but of the spirit. For the letter kills, but the spirit gives life. My brothers and sisters, we are to depend on the living spirit of Yahusha to make alive his words, his instructions, his commands, his laws. There is no one can come to the Almighty Father Yahuwah except through Yahusha our Mashiach, our Messiah. It would be wise for us to come to grips that there is indeed a living Almighty One, Yahuwah, and that he sent his set-apart living spirit in Yahusha's name to guide us. With that said, allow me to press forward with highlighting very critical things to understand. In other words, each of these are extremely important to understand now and definitely during these end times. I believe as the 144,000 in multitude is refined, as we are perfected, we will come to understand the true meaning of when a day begins and when a day ends. We will come to know how we are to demonstrate, be obedient, and execute all that has been given us to do regarding his commandments, his laws, his set-apart days. Yes, I believe in these end times as true chosen leaders provided to Yahusha by the Spirit of Yahusha will direct us on how all should be executed, implemented, and demonstrated righteously. Keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, Yahuwah, Almighty Father, the beginning and the end, Yahusha, that he is Yahusha's word manifest, that he is Yahuwah's word manifest in the flesh. Yahusha is the Mashiach, our Messiah, the only sacrificed son of Yahusha. This is a mystery. Yes, it is a mystery to many, but I have no doubt it will become clear. The Spirit of Yahusha, the name of the Almighty Father set-apart Spirit sent to teach us and bring things to remembrance, is Yahusha, John 14:26. The scriptures, keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, the original scriptures were in picture format and were and are and continue to be intended for the use of teaching and establishing a maturing relationship with the Most High Father in worship and obedience to him through Yahusha Mashiach as he make the scriptures alive. Yes, over time, man has tampered with the scriptures, providing many interpretations infected with pagan labels in an attempt to hide Yahuwah and Yahusha's name, among many other things. It is the Spirit of Yahusha which enlightens us by making what is righteous alive in the scriptures. It is a sequence that we must come to realize, my brothers and sisters. The sequence of Yahuwah, how he created us, how he began a plan. And in that plan, it came about where he was manifest in the flesh as Yahusha. A sequence where Yahusha walked upon the face of the earth and demonstrated how we were to engage the Almighty Father Yahuwah in spirit and in truth, demonstrated by his physical walk among those who witnessed his actions, his ministry. It is Yahusha It is the set-apart spirit that Yahuwah sent in Yahusha's name that guides us and leads us. Yes, to acknowledge Yahuwah and ignore Yahusha is to disregard the ministry that took place. To disregard Yahusha, manifest in the flesh, and disregard him would be disregarding the plan that the Most High Father implemented to restore us into fellowship. To ignore that it is the spirit of Yahusha that indwells us, guides us, instructs us, reproves us, is to disregard that it is through the name Yahusha that we have life and salvation. All of this is a part of the plan of the Most High, my brothers and sisters. And there is a sequence of understanding, a sequence of events, a sequence of actions that we must demonstrate. And we will. Yes, my brothers and sisters, these are last days. It is a time when we will come more alert, more awake. We will witness the spirit of Yahusha as he enlightened us by making what is righteous alive to us through his scriptures indirectly and as well as through his chosen leaders. So many people have attempted to master the scriptures, as well as in many instances they have tried to use their own agenda by twisting scriptures to fit their ways, their intent. This will come to naught. It will come to an end, my brothers and sisters. In spite of man's effort to hide and pervert what is righteous, I submit to you it is by the power and strength of our living Almighty Father Yahuwah, through Yahusha, his set-apart spirit that he sent to teach us and bring to remembrance all that he has said to us. I submit to you, in spite of man's tampering, we still have access and come to know, discern what is right, and respond with true worship and obedience. Now allow me to just mention some other critical things that I do believe are very important and will become very clear, for even in each of these there are struggles in understanding what must be done, how to interpret them, how to act, how to worship, how to obey, how to teach, what services are and must be done regarding these things. These critical things consist of the Ten Commandments, understanding them, every last one of them. It consists of the Torah, laws, living rules, of which so many people think is just a letter. I submit to you the Torah is the living rules. And in those living rules, yes, we see evidence of written rules, but we see more so evidence of a living Almighty One guiding us. Shabbat, a day of rest, a day of worship, a set-apart time, the seventh day. There is so much division and fragmentation over when the day starts and when it ends. I submit to you, my brothers, as we approach these end times, the truth will come. It will come and be made known. My position is that the Shabbat starts from morning to morning, and that marks the measurement of from one day to the next, from morning to morning. I absolutely did not say sunrise to sunrise. I said morning to morning, and there is a difference. I am not here to debate you, and if you are one who pursue and look forward to the darkness, the evening every sixth day, in due time you will come to know the truth. Why do I believe in due season we all will come to know what is right? It's because it is a time when we will see why it is so important to guard the Shabbat. The new moon. It is a time when man must appreciate and will appreciate the cycle of harvest, what is involved with the planting of seeds, to the nurturing of seeds, to the harvest time. It has a purpose beyond many's understanding, but we will come to know why the new moon is a set-apart day. It is a time in which we mark a sequence of events regarding a relationship with seed time, nurturing, and harvest time, both physically and among believers. The 7 feasts, seven set-apart feasts: Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, harvest, trumpets, atonement, and tabernacle. All have a purpose. All have an embedded message, as well as a purpose for our walk to be passed from generation to generation. These too will be made clear in these end times. The division, the conflicts, the debate on whether we keep them or not will be made clear in these end times, in these last days. My brothers and sisters, I am compelled to believe that as the 144,000 mentioned in Revelation 7th and 14th chapter, as the 144,000 in multitude are refined and perfected and brought together, we will see and witness a demonstration of true worship and obedience like never before, and we will come to know the understanding and sequence of all set apart days, as well as the services in which we must adhere to and obey as guided by the Spirit of Yahusha. I believe soon, as we will see a one world government emerge, as we will witness the anti-Mashiach, or anti-Messiah, and a false prophet emerge, I believe with all my heart the 2 witnesses will come. They will be 2 individuals chosen by the Spirit of Yahusha. They will be the last 2 shepherds for Yahusha, for believers, before the return of our Mashiach, our Messiah. Pray and watch. Each of these things are critical that I have mentioned, and we will be refined, and we will come to know with precision their place in our worship and obedience to the Almighty Father, Yahuwah, through Yahusha, our Mashiach's guidance, through those whom he has anointed and chosen to lead, direct, and make clear things to us. These are man's final steps, my brothers and sisters. We will witness a unified group who will wear the label of the 144,000, representing the 12 tribes of Yahusha, along with a multitude of many from many nations, kindreds, and tongues, who will come out of the great tribulation, who has chosen and will choose to worship and obey the Almighty Father. Our refining process will emerge complete with those chosen by the Spirit of Yahusha to lead and establish unity among the ranks. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, have I become a victim of drive-by listeners, of those who will listen but never make a comment? Am I one who some pick and take and use specifics only for their own gain, personal gain? Am I one who is obedient and continue to press forward as guided? Am I a servant, a mere conduit, which working words from time to time are revealed, words of righteousness are revealed? Who am I, but yet one who seeks to worship and obey the Almighty Father? My brothers and sisters, no, it is not about me, but soon and very soon we will come to realize the need for us to communicate with one another as guided by the Spirit of Yahusha. I'm on YouTube, Google Plus, using Google Hangouts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Pal Talk, and a few others under the same name, Symmanayah. I invite you, come, let us become acquainted and get to know one another. I am approachable. Let's talk. Let's ask questions of one another. Let us get into one another's life as guided by the Spirit of Yahusha. End times are here, and they bring with them many demands and orders. Soon we will face extreme humbling events in the wake of famine, drought, pestilence, and disease. As they intense, chaos will follow in their wake. Increased crime, upheaval, turmoil, civil unrest, and many drastic things are over the horizon. To we who seek to worship and obey, they will be humbling events, perfecting and refining us in our walk, in our worship, in our obedience. To the children of disobedience, it will be as if the wrath of the Almighty Father hath begun. If I am one whom you think is off, I invite your comments or questions in reproof. If I am one who you think is beyond approaching, I strongly suggest you ignore future recordings and or actions from me. Use your time wisely, for our days are numbered more than we realize, my brothers and sisters. When intense times emerge, priorities will be established and we will witness leaders chosen by the Spirit of Yahusha. We will witness leaders emerge and be used by the Spirit of Yahusha to direct us. Leaders that will be established by the Spirit of Yahusha. Yes, there will be a gathering in these end times. Pray and watch. It is a magnificent plan of the Almighty Father Yahuwah. And come to accept Yahusha as our Mashiach, and that it is his Spirit that is making his word alive, that is guiding us, that is perfecting us, and that will indeed bring together a unified bunch, a unified group. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, this series, Man's Final Step, addresses the critical and complex tasks that are ahead of us. Stay tuned as we continue. Yes, these are man's final steps. Are you? Do you know? Are you aware that it is possible you may indeed be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude that will come out of the great tribulation? Awake, my brothers and sisters, and begin to receive all that is before you, to make clear your purpose, our purpose, and the tasks that are expected. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, remember, I am approachable. Let's talk. Let us become acquainted. For if I am indeed your brother, and you are indeed my sister or my brother, we will at some point come to meet. Until next time, remember, this plan belongs to the Almighty Father. Stay tuned as the series continues. Shalom, shalom, shalom.